I saw a clip on Twitter of Matt Walsh attempting to play Call of Duty, and in one part of the clip he says that he doesn't play video games because he's a quote-unquote grown man. He's not the only person from the Daily Wire to say this. I remember a while ago Ben Shapiro tried to play Minecraft in a video, and he said essentially the same thing. I don't play video games because I'm a grown man with responsibilities. You know, the implication being that video games are only for children, and man-children. One, way to capture the youth by shitting all over a medium that's popular with them. Two, I thought this video games are only for children shit died a long time ago. When I made my Nintendo's for Babies troll video like 6 or 7 years ago, I thought I was making fun of a dumb mentality that was long dead. Apparently not. Apparently this is still something that people believe in, even though it is demonstrably untrue. I never hear this said about any other medium, not for movies, TV shows, or books, because people understand the absurdity in saying that those mediums are only for children. There are movies, TV shows, and books that are catered for kids, of course, but there are also movies, TV shows, and books that are meant for adults, because those mediums are not exclusive to one age demographic. They are for everyone. So why can't the same be applied for video games? There are games out there that appeal to a wider demographic, like Nintendo games. They can be enjoyed by both children and adults, but there are certainly games out there that are just meant for an older demographic. Take The Last of Us games, for example. Very serious, very narrative-driven games that have extremely violent gameplay, Part 2 especially, and have very emotionally heavy plot points. I can't imagine that a lot of little kids would have any interest in playing or even handling games like those. But anyways, my point is, there are games that are meant to be played by adults, much like there are movies that are meant to be watched by adults, and TV shows that are meant to be watched by adults, and books that are meant to be read by adults. Video games are just as much of a valid piece of media as those other mediums are. Just because you and all of the other little kids played Super Mario back in the 80s does not mean at all that the industry is still exactly the same. A wide array of people of various different ages play video games now. It is not a hobby just for little kids anymore. If you yourself don't like video games, then that's fine, but don't shit all over the medium just because you personally don't like it. This is what I can't stand about a lot of people. We can't let people enjoy what they like in peace. Instead, we have to shit all over what they like because we personally don't see the appeal. I see the same be said sometimes for adults who still like watching cartoons. Oh, you watch cartoons still? What are you, 10 years old? This is my philosophy. If an adult still likes watching cartoons, then good for them. I don't care. How the fuck does it affect me, and why should I give a fuck? I like watching cartoons too sometimes, mainly Courage the Cowardly Dog, because it's my favorite cartoon of all time, and not only that, one of my favorite shows of all time. But at the same time, I can still enjoy watching shows like The Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad, etc. I can enjoy things that are meant for adults, while simultaneously also enjoying things that are meant for a younger demographic. Because TV shows don't appeal to just one specific age demographic, just like how video games don't appeal to one specific age demographic. If someone is an adult and still primarily plays Nintendo games, good for them. I don't care. Those games aren't just meant for children, but if Nintendo were to come out tomorrow and say, we make games only for children and not for adults, I still would not give a fuck whatsoever if adults choose to play Nintendo games, because Nintendo games are just fun. I'm mostly a Sony guy these days, but I still like playing Nintendo games sometimes, mainly on my GameCube. But anyways, I may have gotten a little sidetracked, but it all ties into my main point. Video games are a medium that appeals to everyone. There are games that appeal to a younger demographic, while also able to be enjoyed by an older player base. But there are also games, just like with any other medium, that specifically cater to adults. I don't understand the stupid double standard. Just like any other form of media, video games are human expression. And I'll say once again, just like any other form of media, that expression can either take the form of content that appeals to both a younger and older audience, or just explicitly an older audience. It's not a foreign concept. We've accepted this for the longest time with other forms of media, so please, for the love of God, finally accept the same thing for video games. I get it, video games are still a relatively new form of media, but you would think by now, with a huge chunk of the consumer base for video games being adults, that these fucking idiots would stop saying stupid shit like, oh, video games? That's just a pastime for children. Do me and the rest of adults who play video games a solid and shut the fuck up. We have our pastime, and you have yours. We don't harm you in any way, we make no impact on your life whatsoever, so I see no good reason for you to be such a judgmental prick when it comes to people enjoying a form of media that you don't like. I hope that you get the stick out of your ass soon, but that may just be wishful thinking. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.